flower growing wild and free. All I'd want is you to be my sweet honeybee. And if I was a tree growing tall and green, all I'd want is you to shade.
What story and what did you want to tell the world when you made Juno?
When I made Juno, I wanted to do a story about the idea of growing up. The moment we decide to grow up, I find that there's too many young people who are growing up too fast, and then too many 30-year-olds who oftentimes don't grow up at all. So I wanted to make a film that discussed the idea of the moment we decide to become adults.
Now, when I looked in the paper, I saw that the tagline for Juno was the feel-good movie of the year.
Yeah.
Was that the tagline that you were aiming for?
You know, when we were making Juno, it was a very small movie. It was a tiny little movie that we shot up in Vancouver, and my hope was that people would just one day see it. I knew that we'd play film festivals, and I hoped that somehow it would reach audiences. So I'm not even sure if I had a tagline in mind.
I was wondering, in Juno, Juno seems to make like teen pregnancy so glamorous. Were you expecting it to be like that?
Really? You think it makes teen pregnancy look glamorous?
In some cases, she's not going.
Not exactly glamorous, but
She doesn't have any like hormonal fits or all that.
Well, I see what you're saying. Well, you see her throw up at one point, and I think you see that it kind of tears her life apart a little. You know, it makes her very unpopular in school, and it brings a lot of stress to her life. And you know, she has to face some very big decisions that could really change how she lives the rest of her life. So I would hate for anyone to look at it and think of it as glamorous, because it's a very, very difficult thing to do, and Juno has to make some very tough choices that I would not wish upon any teenage girl.
So you have a young daughter. How did your wife react when she first saw the movie?
Oh, she was very moved by it. My wife and I still get choked up when we watch the ending of the movie.
I think that mostly I would have directed Juno much better.
So, since you do have a young daughter,
Hold on 1 second. Adam, I'm working with the press right now.
This is so awkward.
You're going to really upset these girls. And
I'm sorry, Jason.
And no offense, but I think they could take you too.
I mean, duh.
So since you do have a young daughter, when do you think you'll show Juno to her?
That's a very good question. I just showed her her first movie, and I showed her Ratatouille, and she loved it. And the director of Ratatouille is actually here tonight, over there. That guy in the glasses over there, and I just told him that. But I think we'll probably know when she's ready, at some point when she's a teenager. I mean, how old are you guys?
I'm 12.
I'm 13-year-old.
And you all saw it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Thought it was great.
And did you feel like you were too young for it, or did you feel just about right?
I loved it.
Well, so maybe then,
great movie.
maybe when she's around 12, 13, I'll show it to her then.
So, do you plan on having any follow-up discussion with her or anything afterward, since it touches on such a sensitive subject?
You know, that's an interesting question. I think, I hope that my daughter and I are constantly communicating about things like this, so that even once she gets to the movie, she already has a good idea of what's right for her.
And I was just wondering, what's next for you in the world of film?
Well, I'm producing a movie from the same writer as Juno, Diablo Cody, and that movie's called Jennifer's Body, and it's a horror comedy. So imagine if Juno became possessed by demons and started eating her classmates. And it's going to star Megan Fox from Transformers.
I had just one more question.
Okay.
Since your father's Ivan Reitman, do you ever feel like that you have a legend to live up to?
You know, sometimes it's a little tough. He casts a very big shadow. But at the end of the day, I think it's important that you create your own goals and you figure out who you are and you live your own life. And that's what I try to do every day. That's what they taught me.
Great. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was great.
Thanks, guys.